Today we continue with our class laws of Yom Tov, and we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim. And our topic today is, big topic is 7 conditions, but here is not a condition; it's like something in between. Let's see, right? So the third condition is going to be like next week. Okay, Beezrat HaShem. So it says real or fantasy. What may appear to be a plot in the making and should be exposed before it materializes may sometimes be nothing more than meaningless talk. If one overhears other plotting to harm someone, he may not inform the potential victim unless there is sound basis for assuming that the plotters are serious. Occasionally, people deal with anger and frustration by fantasizing, plotting, and threatening with no real intent of translating their words into action. In such a situation, the well-meaning bystander who conveys the information is guilty of speaking lashon hara, rehilus, and hatzaras shem ra, slander. Okay, so let's try to understand. So sometimes, or many times, we have to understand who is talking, right? So, and as we said, there is a Halachah, there is one of the mitzvahs that we are not allowed to stand by when our brother, right, our brother blood is being spilled, right? Meaning what? That his life is in danger, we must help, right? Or must help, must protect. Right, so here you see, you hear people are talking, but they just clowns. They two cowards, right? They're not going to do anything, but they talking tough because this guy is not there, and that's what they do. They talk, right? So in this case, we would not be allowed to inform the potential victim because there is no danger to him or her. So one more time. What may appear to be a plot in making that should be exposed before it materializes may sometimes be nothing more than a meaningless talk. If one overhears other plotting to harm someone, he may not inform the potential victim unless there is sound basis for assuming that there is a plotters are serious. I mean, not only serious, but they are type of the people who actually delivers, who do not care. Like other people who would be scared to deal with police. Other people they go to police every other week, so for them it's like nothing. They're not scared of the police or nobody. So that's we have to take into consideration all these things. Occasionally people deal with the anger and frustration by fantasizing, plotting, and threatening with no real intent or translating these words into action. I heard many times. Not many times, several times. I heard, I know the people are clowns, and none of them were laughing. Like they were like, they're going to kill the person, they're going to do revolution or something. Okay. We call them keyboard warriors, right? In such situation, the well-meaning bystanders who conveys information is guilty of lashon hara, hatzaras shem ra, meaning slander. Meaning it's not true. He has no intention to harm anybody. I mean, right, just because he said so. Okay, so we stop here. Let me know if we have any questions on this topic. One second, sorry. Apologize. It's loading, but very slow. Okay, so there is one question, but it's a different topic. Okay, so let's go next. So we continue with laws of Yom Tov. Okay, so our topic is chapter 31, treatment of illness and injuries. So last time we spent some time, and I think we gave good examples and discuss all of the different stages, types of sick people, right? So we said there is a sick person that whose life is in danger. Right? Then whose life is in danger. Second type of a person whose life is not in danger, right? But the person is sick, meaning that he has to or she has to take the bed, like I don't know, something serious. It's not like a light headache, right? Third one, we say localized ailment. Like you can walk, you can perform, but you feel discomfort. And the fourth is a minor ailment, right? Some like minor headache, some minor rash, like basically, right? That's yeah. So for the fourth category, basically we will say don't do anything, right? For the third, you can ask non-Jew to do some things, right? For the second category, in some cases, so you will allowed to take medicine, allowed to take medicine if a person needs to transgress some Melachah, so he should do it like not straightforward way, like with a shinoi, right, or through the non-Jew. And even for second category, we said for this category we said that we can ask a non-Jew to perform a Melachah for us, like that would not be allowed to us. So you see, this category is exception to general rule. Right? Usually the law is if it's not allowed to you, you're not allowed to ask anybody. But there are some exceptions. Okay, and then the first category was sick persons who live in danger. So we put aside all of the Shabbos restriction or Yom Tov's restriction until the situation is resolved. Okay, and we can do anything, whatever needed for that category. Okay. Okay, so and then okay, so we start with the section 10, and now topic summary of the laws. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to summarize the laws and explain what needs to be explained. And it says doing Melachah or providing medication for ill person. Okay. Okay, so Melachah and medication, two separate things. So Melachah is one of 39 Melachas. Providing medication, it's actually rabbinical, right? Rabbinical based on talada. Talada meaning the grinding, right? So people will grind medicine. Okay. It is prohibited to do the Melachah for the sake of fulfilling the special needs of an ill person. Okay, so it is in general. So in general, it is prohibited, but in some cases, as we did even say even today during the review, that they actually allowed. But in general, it is prohibited to do Melachah for the sake of fulfilling special needs of ill person. Okay, so we're not talking about first category. First category, life in danger, it's out of the question. You can do whatever you need to do, and just to remind us, we don't have to be experts to know that the life is in danger. If person said, "Yeah, I'm dying, I'm sick, I'm this and that, there is unbearable pain," that's it. We don't have to ask from 1 to 10. Can you describe me the pain? Just do what needs to do, right? Period. Okay. So now we're talking about 3 other categories. It is next one. It is prohibited for someone affected with a minor ailment to use medication on the first day of Yom Tov. So on Shabbos also, right? And minor ailment, I mean, it's in the 4th category. Okay. So continue. The different categories of illness. So first one, chole, shein bo sakana. So that's a patient whose illness is life-threatening. One must do everything in his power, including violating the biblical rabbinic law, to save that someone's life. So, and sometimes you would it would possible to do it through a non-Jew, right? But it's I would say just do it yourself. Okay. So it's Chole Sheish Bo Sakana. That's Sheish Bo Sakana. Okay. So next one is Chole She'ein Bo Sakana. A patient whose illness is not life-threatening, right? As a flu, migraine, headache, or some other things, right? So meaning that the person one should just lie down. Okay. A. One is permitted to violate rabbinic law for the treatment of the patient in this category. However, that should be done in an unusual manner. Okay. So as we said, rabbinical law you're allowed to violate, but in a unusual manner, meaning with shinui. Okay. If it cannot be done in unusual manner and a non-Jew is available, the non-Jew should be asked to do it. Okay. So first we said that for this person in a second category whose life is not in danger, but he or she very weak. Okay, right? And don't feel good, basically, right? But they're not going to die. Right? For that person, you can violate rabbinical law. You can do it yourself with a shinui, not an unusual way of doing things. Or do it through a non-Jew, or if you don't have a non-Jew and there is no like unusual way of doing such a thing, whatever is it, so you can do it yourself. Okay, but only rabbinical. B, a patient in this category is permitted to take medication. So a person has a flu, like recovering after surgery. Some people have elective surgery on Friday, and they say yes, pray for this person. So it's not so simple to schedule your surgery on Friday, right? It's not or somebody unfortunately on Shabbos, unless there is emergency or for example there is no other way. There is one specialist in the whole your region. Right, and he's available only on Friday. That's it, right? And it could be very well possible, right? This specialist, they usually go from hospital to hospital. Like he has different offices. So in your area, he's only on like every other Friday or like once a month. Right on Friday. So in this case, yes, you have no choice. But if you have a choice, you would not be allowed to do it on Friday because right, you're going to be in pain on Shabbos. That's absolutely not right. Okay. All right. So all of these sicknesses, do it. You are permitted to violate rabbinic law, and that's it. Right. Next one. A patient in this category is permitted to take medication. We said that. C. One may ask non-Jew to perform any act on behalf of the Chole Shein Bo Sakana. So it means that the person whose life is not in danger, including Melachah that is prohibited biblically. So what does it mean? So you can ask him, this non-Jew, to call the doctor and say, doctor, he has a fever. The fever is not going down, right? And doctor said, okay, I'm sending prescriptions to your pharmacy, right? And of course, the pharmacy have to go there, you have to get, and you have to pay, right? Nobody is going to give you for free. I mean, maybe if they know you and you say that, 1 second, would you be able to take it for free? I think so. Like in my local pharmacy, small pharmacy, like family owned, I think, right? So they are so friendly, so nice. I mean, of course they take whatever deductibles, whatever you have to give, but if a few times I forgot my wallet, I didn't have time, I didn't have money. I said, can I bring later? I said, absolutely. Of course, I brought money later, but if needed, for example, on Shabbos, these people would allow it to take without money. But here, okay, so call the doctor for prescription, one thing, right? Then another issue is pain, right? As we said, another thing. Or for example, if something over the counter, right? They're not going to give you for free, like if you go to regular pharmacy, not prescription. I mean, if they then do not know you, right? So you would have to pay. And the third one would be carrying through the public domain, right? So we said, even though on Yom Tov, we'll learn the laws of Yom Tov, but we try to refresh the laws of Shabbos as well, right? So on Yom Tov, yes, it is allowed, as I said, there is allowed to carry things, right? But only things that needed for Yom Tov, right? And medicine is not one of them, right? So in some sense, it's a biblical violation. But or if it's a Carmelis, like Carmelis is semi-public domain, so it would be like a rabbinic violation. But still, you can ask non-Jew to do that. Okay, so that's a second. Just one second. Okay. So next one, localized ailment. So it's a third category. For example, ordinary headache. Okay. Or a foot-ache, something like a backache. People have backaches, right? Problem with the ears, like with other things, right? A Jew is forbidden to violate any biblical or rabbinical prohibitions. One may ask non-Jew to perform an act which involves only rabbinic transgression for this third category, right? Some authorities permit taking medication on Yom Tov, which is very good. I mean, I'm not sure on Shabbos. I don't think so for this localized, but if he cannot like bear the pain or something, that's too much. Yeah, so he would be, I guess, in the second category. So in this case, they would allow. Okay. The fourth category, right? The minor ailment. Before we continue, so this localized ailment. So we said a Jew himself cannot do any violate any biblical or rabbinical prohibition, but he can ask non-Jew to do to perform some Melachah that violates only a rabbinic prohibition. Okay. And the fourth, right, is minor ailment. For example, sore throat. Okay. It is forbidden to transgress any biblical or rabbinical prohibition or to ask non-Jew to perform a prohibited act. But for this sore throat, I mean, you can do natural things, right? You can drink tea with honey, with lemon. I mean, all of this. I mean, it's food, right? So food are never forbidden, right? And even if you take you eating this food or drinking this drink because of the mostly because of the ailment, it does not make any difference. Okay. So of course, don't say it out loud, but you can drink your tea with lemon. Okay, so next one, sick or injured children. A child below the age of 3 years suffering from illness or injury that causes distress may be classed as choleh she'ein bo sakana, right? Meaning. Meaning that a sick person whose life is not in danger, but pretty sick, right? It's second category, right? Shane is the second category. Yes, Shane is second category. Correct. Okay. So and meaning what? Meaning if even his life is not in danger. Right, but maybe like according to if he would be adult, he would be in the third or even fourth category. But Torah put him or her, this little child, in the second category. Meaning what? That we can do all of the rabbinical things for him, or ask non-Jew to do biblical. But usually when people have small children, they prepared. So I mean, prepared meaning that. that most likely you would not need to violate any biblical prohibitions. Okay. Continue. A child with a weak constitution may be considered a chole she'ein bo sakana in situation of distress up to the age of 9 years. Distress. Okay, so as we said, like weak child, it's in a case in the second category, right? Because they're so fragile, like a little impact can bring a lot of damage. Okay, continue. Additional halachos. It is permitted to take medication on Yom Tov for preventive medicine, for preventive purposes. So the case what we were talking, we were discussing, for example, somebody taking antibiotics. So the doctor told you to take 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, whatever. They told you, so you continue taking, right? But you feel a little better. That's good, but you continue doing, right? Or some or person feel that he might get sick. Okay, next one. It is permitted to purchase a capsule. It is permitted to puncture a capsule or tear the paper wrapping around the pill while attempting not to tear the lettering. So puncture the capsule, I get to get the content out. Okay. So in olden days, I don't know, I mean, it's not like a big expert in medicine, but I remember on many capsules they would have a name. Right, today when you buy capsules, usually there is no name of the medicine. Today, I mean, I have not seen for some time. Okay, which is good, right? So it's, I mean, of course, it's even if you take a knife, you would cut it on a side without name. The name would accompany it only from one side, so you can cut it open from another side if you need to take the medicine out. Okay. Just 1 second. Puncture the cut or tear the paper. So wrapping. So again, but today I'm not sure what would be the paper in olden days. Yes, but now not so much. Okay. The next one. It is permitted to crush or chop a pill on Yom Tov. So if you're allowed to take medicine pills, so you can crush them. So the whole prohibition was so the person would crush it, right? Grind it and take it, right? So the grinding is one of the prohibitions, but of course it's rabbinic because it has nothing to do. I mean, originally it did, right? As we explained before, most of the medicine would come in from herbs. Right, so and herbs under the biblical prohibition of grinding. All other things are not, right? But herbs for sure. Okay. Okay. So if you need to chop a pill in a half, in four parts, you would be allowed. Okay. So today, what they do, for example, if a big dosage for something, they just give, they say, take 2 pills, one after another, or take 3 pills. So it's easier to swallow 3 pills separately than one big one. So very simple. Okay. Next one is second day of Yom Tov. On the second day of every Yom Tov, except Rosh Hashanah, anyone suffering from the minor ailment is allowed to perform rabbinic prohibition, but not biblical prohibition, in order to alleviate this discomfort. So we're talking about the 4th category. When we said to everything, we said absolutely not. So on second day of Yom Tov, a person is allowed to violate the rabbinic prohibition. Right, 1 second, just make sure. Right, so in order to alleviate discomfort. Okay. So meaning what? Because we know exactly that second day is rabbinic institution, it's not from Torah. From Torah is only first day, except as they say Rosh Hashanah, even second day of Rosh Hashanah also rabbinic, but it's rabbis say it's one long day, period. So they say we don't argue. Okay, continue. 11 miscellaneous rules pertaining to health care on Yom Tov. A. If one's house is cold, when one's house is insufficiently heated, it is probable that one will become ill. Okay. Therefore, the poskim determined that everyone is considered chole she'en bo sakana. So meaning, so even if it's underheated and you're not sick, you're fine, but you're in that category of sick persons whose life is not in danger. So like automatically our rabbis put all these people who suffer from cold in a second category. And I would say it's the second step on a person who was exposed for cold. Even sometimes person would not dress properly in the winter. It's very cold. They live in a cold climate, and they would go and check mail. Okay, it's like 2 minutes. You're there, check mail, and guess what? You're going to be sick for the next 10 days or something, right? So that's why our sages automatically put all of these people in the category chole she'en bo sakana. So it's second category. Right, so in areas without adequate heat. In such a situation, one may ask a non-Jew to turn on or raise the heat. So as we said in this category, so I mean, technically, person is not sick, right? But since rabbis say that most likely that person is going to get sick, right? I mean, average people, some people never get sick or very rarely get sick. Okay. Right, so they would allow, I just remind you, we can ask non-Jew to do any biblical or rabbinic prohibitions for us. So to turn on the heat or raise the heat would be one of them. But my personal opinion. So if it's cold, you can dress. I don't know, you could put extra socks. You can wear a sweater or something. Okay, but all right. That's my opinion. But if people want to feel comfortable, okay, they can do whatever they want. Continue. The above rule applies even when there is adequate heat for most people, but additional heat is required for a child or elderly person in a house. So our sages were very sensitive to children can get sick very, very easily, and so same as the elderly person. The immune system is not that great, so for them to get sick, like if you're 23 years old, for you to get this flu, nothing, right? You can survive in 5 days, it's over, right? But when you're 75 or 80 years old, so it's not so easy. It's not so easy. A person gets sick and can get chas v'shalom all the complications. So that's very dangerous. So so if you have elderly people in the house, young children, so even for all of us, it's normal. It's okay temperature, so we're allowed to ask non-Jew. So next one, if air conditioner was on, and as a result of the house became too cold, it is permissible to tell a non-Jew to lower or turn off the air conditioner. Right, and it happens sometimes. They say it's going to be hot, so you turn on air conditioner and there's 69 outside. So it's very, very cold inside. But okay, so technically we can ask non-Jew to turn this air conditioner off. I mean, we never ask anybody. Never in my life we ask anybody, right? To the heat. So I mean, it's cold. So take I don't know, dress a little warmer. That's it, right? Don't ask anybody. But of course, I mean that's my approach. But there is no problem to ask non-Jew, and that's what they do. Especially this permission would be in if it's required for public, for mitzvah, for public, for sure. So for example, in a synagogue, right? It's too cold, or it's too hot, too this, too that. So yeah, you can ask non-Jew. There is no problem because it's for the prayer services, right? And for the public would be allowed. Okay. I mean, it would be more room to permit it. Next one, removing splinter. Somebody asked me today about splinter. One may remove a splinter with a needle on Yom Tov. However, it is if it is inevitable that the bleeding will occur, then removing the splinter is not remove the splinter. When removing the splinter, it should not be removed unless the splinter causes considerable pain. Okay, so let's try to understand. So a person has a splinter. So with this splinter, you can go, I don't know, a week or so. I mean, some of them would create like infection, but not in one day. Usually, in one day, nothing is going to happen. So the issue is what is bleeding, right? So we're not allowed to perform shchita, right? Shchita is the killing of animal, right? And we are not allowed to cause ourselves a wound, right? Any wound, right? And if you know for sure. So if it's like if this like splinter like on a surface, right, on a surface and right under your skin, and remove it would be no problem. So you would be allowed, right? And the needle in this case is not muktzah, right? So so needle usually is a muktzah. Why? Because the primary purpose of the needle is to sew, and to sew is one of the 39 melachas, right? Which are forbidden. Okay. But needle in this category of muktzah, there is has not it's like prescribed usage, but like different one, like this one, like removing the splinter. Okay, so in this case it's a muktzah, but in category mechamas gufo, I think so. But okay, we'll get to it. Okay, so if no blood is going to come out, no problem, right? But if blood, don't do it unless, as he's saying, that that it causing considerable pain. Okay. Next one, placing ice on a bump, right? So what's the problem with the ice? The ice is going to melt, right? And it is permitted to place an ice on a bump to apply pressure with a knife. However, the ice should be placed in a plastic bag rather than wrapped in a cloth or paper in order to avoid the Melachah of schita, wringing. So, I mean, today usually, like he's talking about the olden days, or if you have ice like in you from your refrigerator, but if you went even once went to a doctor or I don't know, like order something from internet that requires refrigeration, so they give you like these elements, right? When you put to freezer, and then you can reuse it. I think many people would throw them away, but we keep them like just in case, and not many times, but from time to time we need to use them. Okay, so in this case, but they are like in a special cloth that is not going to leak, and it's not real water. I know what is inside. I know, but it's like keeps cool very good. Okay, so then in this case you don't need any plastic bag or something. But if it's ice, like ice cubes, yeah, you would need to put a plastic bag. So right, in the plastic bags. Again, the problem is wringing. So you person would wring the water from if somebody just put in a cloth or something. Next one, D, using the hot water to create steam. If a child is within or experience a crowd-like condition, one may open hot water tap or of a bath or shower in order to steam up the room to relieve the symptoms. It is preferable, if possible, to have the tap opened by a non-Jew. So it's hard to breathe for a child, this special condition. I'm not sure if it's going to If it's sufficient not to help the adult, maybe, I don't know. So we just open the hot water tap, right, and let him breathe this steam. Okay. Next one, using band-aid, see page 180. So we discussed band-aid. So be careful not to tear the hairs, right? If it's in the hairy part of the body. And second issue with the band-aid was that don't throw out when they attached one to another. Right, so with this adhesive, why? Because one of the 29 Melachos we say is sewing, and sewing it's to attach two pieces of any pliable material with any by any means. It could be sewing like a needle and thread, but it could be using a glue. So these band-aids, for sure they're using glue. So if a person, for example, cut his finger and put the band-aid one on top of the other, right, and then just remove it and throw out, that's the problem, because you violated Melachah. So it would be allowed to sew, in this case, like they use a band-aid, if you would undo this thing before you throw it out, and same concept we discussed about diapers, right? Okay, no problem. Preparation and use of compress on Shabbos and Yom Tov. They say see children in Halachah. Okay. Next one, caning for a wound on Yom Tov. See children in Halachah. Another page. Okay. So they okay. So it's very interesting. I never went through this book, Children in Halachah, but it's very interesting. Okay. Sounds very interesting. Okay. Continue. Next section, treating diaper. Rash. Okay, that's the big one. So of course we said that the problem with the lotions. So it cannot be like a biblically prohibited lotion, but you can do like oil, baby oil. That's according to all opinions. There is no problem. Okay. So let's see. If a baby has a slightly dry skin, which does not generally cause discomfort, one may not apply any medication on Yom Tov. Right, so a little dry. It's not red. There is no nothing. Right, so no medication on Yom Tov, since the minor irritation does not place child in a category of choleh she'en bo sakana. So we said it's a second category. Who person is sick, but whose life is not in danger. But we said for little children they are put in this category, but not in this specific case. He or she is a subject to the prohibition of taking medication on Shabbos. Okay. So meaning in the fourth category. However, although it is forbidden to put lotion on affected skin, one may indirectly apply lotion by pouring it on adjacent healthy skin and letting it flow into the affected area by itself. So that's what they can do. Okay, no problem. So meaning not on the affected area, but on a healthy area, and let it flow down. Okay. So next one. So it's case was minor irritation. So next one is a serious rash. Okay. And it says this baby has a diaper rash or a sunburn that causes discomfort. Right. The child is considered choleh she'en bo sakana. So the child is suffering a lot for this from this diaper rash, from sunburn, from all of these things. Okay. Therefore, one may apply medication to cure an infant. However, one must try to avoid violating the prohibition of memarech. So memarech is smoothing, right? Without infringing upon the child needs. Okay. Therefore, the following halachas apply, meaning you need to apply like ointment, right? But without smoothing it. That's our goal. Okay. and we're not talking about baby oil. Baby oil there is no problem, or olive oil, no problem. So it says, the condition develop. If the condition developed prior Shabbos, it is best to smear the necessary cream or ointment into diapers or bandages before Shabbos, and store them in a plastic bag, meaning that would not dry up, right? Plastic bags. This will eliminate all questions associated with prohibition of smoothing. So meaning what? That next time you change the diapers are going to get press to the body of the baby, and then they're going to smear this ointment like by itself. Okay, I mean indirectly. Okay. This will eliminate the question associated with prohibition of smoothing. When this is not possible, it's not even not possible. People don't have time to think about all these things. Not possible. And it is necessary to use topical medication. One should treat the condition in the following manner. Okay, so let's see what to do if we did not apply it to diapers. Number one, it is preferable to use liquid medication, thus avoiding the prohibition of smoothing. So, he says here that it is actually medication. So, baby oil, for example, is it medication? Maybe yes. Okay. It helps. Right? The medication should be applied in unusual manner. So, as we said with Shema, for example, with little finger, right, with a finger, or with the back of one's hand, like this. So nobody usually apply it like that. So that would be a Shema. Okay. Number two, the use of the fluid is not. If the use of fluid is not feasible, one should attempt to use lotion with a loose consistency, whose smearing is prohibited rabbinically. The lotion should also be applied in a usual manner as described previously. Okay. So, all right. So meaning with the back of the hand or something. Okay. So first is the liquid medication. Second is is the lotion that still it's flowing somewhat. It's it's not very dense, not very thick, right? So it would be prohibited only rabbinically. And the third one, the dense ointment. For example, desitin. So this one is right. It's very very dense, right? Meaning if you put a finger, take out, it's going to stand like this, right? It's most most likely this one would be prohibited because of the density on a biblical level. The dense ointment, for example, desitin, must be used if the dense ointment, for example, desitin must be used to treat the rash. One may not directly smear the cream onto the affected area, since it is entailed biblical prohibition. So, meaning what? That we must do it indirectly through something. If the cream is in a jar, its removable inevitably involves minimal amount of smoothing. So meaning you take out with a finger, with whatever, you smooth inside the jar, right? Therefore, one should remove the cream in unusual manner. For example, with the handle of a spoon or fork. So nobody under normal circumstances would use a fork. Of course, the handle, not with the fork yourself, but with the handle of the fork to remove the cream. That's a brilliant idea. And place into the affected area. So just place, that's it, right? Afterwards, a diaper or bandage should be applied in an affected area, even though the cream will invariably be smoothed out in the process. So, but yes, it's going to be smooth, but we did everything indirectly, which is no problem. Alternatively, the cream can be removed from the jar in an unusual manner and dubbed into the diaper, right? So the dubbing is not smoothing, or bandage, and the diaper or bandage can be placed onto affected area. right? Or do with this fork, with a fork handle, right? If the cream is in a tube, one should squeeze it directly into affected area, or the diaper or a bandage. Meaning that would be the best. I mean, that would be the best because you do everything indirectly. So you don't take the cream, the ointment, right? You just squeeze it on a bandage or on the skin itself, and then press with something, and it's going to smooth out without you doing anything. Okay. So, and same, I mean, we discuss it here, children, but same would apply to adult as well. Just so we know, somebody has a rash, somebody some serious skin condition, right? And we had a student some time ago, many years ago, with a skin condition. So that's how I learned from that student, is it nature? I don't know, for many years, suffer from skin condition of the hands. So try not to wash the hands as much as possible, right? If children's condition requires that the cream is rubbed into the child's skin, one may rub the cream into the skin in an unusual manner. For example, with back of his hand. So meaning there is some serious condition, some serious cream that they say you have to rub in, not only smear but rubbed into the baby's body. Okay, so that's an exception. Okay, so 1 second. Let me quickly check time. Okay, you know what? I think we're going to stop here. Yeah, let's stop here because it's a next chapter. So next chapter is Halachos pertaining to Erev Yom Tov. We're going to do for the next time. So let me. Okay. So let's see if we have any questions on the topic. So we have Mashiach. Okay, Mashiach. It's for another time. Okay, so no questions on the topic. I mean, it's updating, but that's it. Okay. And that question disappeared. I'm not sure why. Okay. So let's do then. Since we don't have many questions, so let's do then Halachos of Yichud. Okay. And we continue with Halachos of Yichud, and our big topic, what we started. So we started exception factor number 2, physiology and psychological physiology and psychological state of individual. Okay. So, for example, Yichud with underage minor, ill persons. Okay. So, and we continue. And number 1 is Yichud of an adult with a minor is forbidden. Okay. It must be emphasized here that absence of Yichud restriction with regard to the minor applies only between themselves. There is both of the secluded individuals are minors. That's okay. Minors. A Yichud of adult with a minor is not included in this exception and is prohibited. Okay, so examples. A 13-year-old boy may not babysit alone with his 6 years old niece. Okay. In a house with the doors locked or late at night even unlocked. So again, 13 years old boy, so he's adult now. He's a man, right? May not babysit alone with his 6 years old niece in a house with the door locked. Okay. Next one. Or unlocked if it's at night. Okay. A 12-year-old girl may not remain in a house along with a 9-year-old boy right? Because he's 9 and she's adult, right? 12 for girls is adult. Or late at night, even the house is unlocked. Okay. So next one, nowadays, an adult should avoid being secluded with any minor, even of the same gender. Let's see also chapter 6. I mean, that's very scary what he says. Now an adult should avoid being secluded with any minor, even of the same gender. Why? Because unfortunately there are many crazy people. Okay. So let's see. So number 2, Yichud of the minor with a non-Jew. Okay. It is forbidden to allow a minor, for example, a girl under age of 12, to remain in Yichud seclusion with a non-Jew. With a Yichud seclusion non-Jew. Okay. Just as if forbidden in a case of a Jewish adult. Okay. So it's very interesting. So today I was listening to, so you have to know your enemy, right? So, and the best way to know your enemy is to listen to the full interview of the enemy. And so who is your enemy? Is Naturei Karta. This Jews that they consider to be Hasidic, but they against state of Israel, and it's very interesting what this guy said. And one of the things, it's unbelievable. He said, no, we had such a good life in Israel. So he was born in Yerushalayim, right? Before the state, after the state, I don't know. I mean, I think he's lying. No, forget it. No, he was born in Yerushalayim, but he was talking about his mother. Okay, here we go. No. Like technically it's possible. So his mother said we had such a great relationships with our the Muslim neighbors. So if during their holidays we would babysit their children, and during our holidays they would babysit our children. I was like, what? You're going like a Jew would leave his little daughter, like I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old, with a Muslim guy, like you normal with his children, like you're crazy. But he said, no, they're such a nice people. We never had a problem. You understand? So like I just remember what we said here. All right. So for people who do not know Torah and do not know like reality, so these people trade cards, and other people they manipulate reality, and many things. Whatever he said, he sounds like a God-fearing person, right? But they have the agenda. It's unbelievable. So today somehow like I had this time, like it was not allowed to learn Torah, like at that time, right? So I spent it watching this kalam, not watching, listening to the interview. Very interesting. So they, of course, I mean, he said he's religious, but he said, yeah, our mother babysitter is Arabs. Okay, so very interesting. Okay, so continue. Actually, the whole sentence again. It is forbidden to allow minor, for example, a girl under age of 12, to remain in Yichud seclusion with a non-Jew, just as it is forbidden in case of a Jewish adult. Okay, of course it's rabbinic, but it doesn't matter. This is true. I mean, it doesn't matter, meaning it's forbidden to us. This is true even if the man is known to be very moral and upright person. However, there can be halachic basis to permit a boy under bar mitzvah to be in Yichud with a non-Jewish woman, for example, purpose of the therapy. I'm not sure what kind of therapy. I mean, if it's in a hospital or something, there is always stuff. There is no Yichud there. I mean, it's not like I know all the procedures in a hospital, but most likely there is a room like the door is not locked, so anybody can come in and stuff like that. Okay, so there is no real Yichud. Note: nowadays, any seclusion of adult with a minor should be discouraged, if not censured. Okay, see chapter 6L. Okay. Meaning today, like people, as we know, they gone crazy over the board. So we try to like protect our children. I mean, sometimes I have to talk to people and who were victim of this rape, like from their childhood. So they some people cannot get over it after many years. They suffer the whole life. They suffer from this nightmare. So of course, like parents did not know this and that. Of course, we don't blame parents, but today for our children, like since we know, like we're trying to protect as much as possible and protect ourselves from those filth. Okay. So next one, C, exemption factor number 3. Okay. So we finish with the children and sick people. Okay. So number 3, company, number / composition of a persons as a factor of permissible yichud. Okay. An example, explained earlier. Okay. A seclusion of more than 2 persons is not yichud midaraisa, according to the most poskim. Although this may still be forbidden on a rabbinical level, yichud midrabanan. For example, seclusion man with 2 women. Okay. So again, I mean, he said it that we must remind ourselves, even though as he said many times, the difference in many times it's only academic, like if it's biblical, rabbinical, it's forbidden to do that, right? But we need to know only when 2 people, according to most poskim, it's only then it's midaraisa from the Torah. But if it's more than 2 people, it's on a rabbinical level, but still forbidden. Okay. So number 1, a composition of a group of 3. Okay. So who are 3? So before that, we said 1 man and 2 women. No, absolutely not. But 1 woman and 2 upstanding men. Right? We said maybe. I mean, maybe meaning during the day under circumstances, not late in the night and stuff like that, not overnight. Okay. Okay. So we start. However, the composition of the 3 persons in a group can be critical factor. So who is in a group? Whereas seclusion 1 man and 2 women are forbidden, a group of 3 comprise 2 men who are ksharim. So meaning ksharim, like I think we said Torah observant and with in good moral standing. I think. Okay, we said that. With 1 woman is permitted. So an example we gave, like 2 doctors, like 2 religious doctors, and there is a secretary. Okay, so I mean they work in after hours doing charts or whatever they do, prepare for the next day. I mean just talking, whatever, right? So and there is a secretary. There is no problem. Cleaning lady or something, no problem. Yours. Based upon affirmation principle, a woman may remain in the office after hours with 2 or more Torah observant male co-workers. Okay, so Torah observant co-workers. Okay. See below Hadrei Anashim for elaboration. Okay. Hadrei Anashim. Okay, so let's see who is Hadrei Anashim. I think we discussed before, but. 1 second. One second. How does it spell? Harde. Here we go. Literally a numerous man. Refers in this work to an exemption of Yichud, where 2 or more men are permitted to be in seclusion with a woman. Yichud of 2 men and 1 woman during the day is permissible only on the basis of men and Torah observant people of the high morals, because the presence of the 2nd man is effective shmira, right? So supervision. 3 men are permitted to be in seclusion with a woman even at night. So Rama, Okay, so the mat 22.5. Okay, no problem. So again, numerous men. So two men with one woman during the day, three even during the night, Torah observant. Okay, continue. Number 2, setting comprises a mixed group of many, 4 or more people. Okay. Moreover, the greater number of the persons present in Yichud setting, the more basics for lenient approach in a halacha. If the setting comprises of the mixed group many people, more than 3, for example, 1 man and 3 or more women, or 2 men, even prutzim, and 2 women. So, prutzim is not a good term. So they not very upstanding men. Let's put it this way, right? With 2 women, the yichud can be permissible. All poskim agree that there is no question of yichud at all where there is a presence at least 3 men and 3 women. So chapter 3. Okay. So it's next chapter. Okay. 3 men and 3 women. Okay. The basic premise behind the principle is that the presence of many people detracts from conductiveness to arise behavior in the group. Moreover, any group is numerous enough constitute a crowd double quotes, and it is and by definition not yichud at all. So crowd meaning that people are going in and out, so for sure it is not yichud. Okay, so let's see. Continue. Examples. Based on this principle, a man working in a locked office with 4 or more female co-workers may, in present circumstances, remain in his post after hours. Okay. Okay. Next one. A woman working in a locked office with a group of consisting of at least 3 male and 3 female co-workers may remain in her post after hours. Okay. So meaning 3 male and 3 female, and she's I guess she could be one of the 3. Okay. So next one. Actually, you know what? We're going to stop on this. It's exemption factor number 4. So 1 second. So we're going to see if we have any questions. Just 1 second. Okay, so let's see if we have any questions. 1 second. So we have some questions from today. So first question, it says, Shalom Koderaf, question about Halachos of brachas. Number 1, do we need to drink more than revi'is of grape juice or wine within shiur cover of beverages? Okay, so one more time. Do we need to drink more than revi'is of grape juice or wine within shiur to cover other beverages? That's a very good question. Very good question. So let me explain the question, because first I thought it's a very simple question, but it's not. So the question is that we know that like bread would cover, like when we eat bread, it would cover most of the food that person is going to eat during that meal settings, meaning all of the normally eaten like dishes, whatever, vegetables, like spaghetti, or like meat, fish, cheese, whatever they eat. Of course, meat and cheese not together, separate, but right, and even all the drinks, like usually people don't eat just food without drinking. They drink some water, juice, tea, whatever they drink, right? It's all included, right? And same as a parallel to this is the wine. So if person drinks wine, or grape juice or champagne, right? For example, so they would say the blessing on a wine, and they supposed to have intention to include all the beverage. For example, you sitting like talking with your friend, and you're drinking wine, and you say the blessing on the wine, so all other beverages are included. For example, they drink wine and say, let's drink some coffee, and they start drinking coffee, so you don't make the blessing on the coffee. And then you say, let's drink orange juice. Oh, cold orange juice, that's what I like. So okay, so you would not need to make any additional blessing. So the question here is very interesting question. So it says in order for all of the beverage be covered, do I need to eat or drink? Eat and drink is the same thing. Do they need to drink this what is it, grape juice or wine, like enough to in order to cover other beverages? So what is enough? Enough is a release. What is a release? Release, the minimum is I think 2.9, but we go about 3.1 ounces. So it's approximately in grams, it's 87 grams, a little less, but 87 grams, right? So it's not a lot. So what is the, like in what period of time we have to drink it? So there are two opinions, of course. One is more lenient, and the lenient opinion is that same as bread. So these poskim say eating and drinking is exactly the same. So meaning they tell you that you have to drink this. It's not a lot, right? 3 ounces in a period of 3 to 4 minutes, but up to 9 minutes. Okay, so that's very lean opinion. We try not to rely on it, right? Not to rely. And the more stricter opinion that on the more acceptable one is that you have to finish this amount, like this 3.1 ounces, in a 2 sips, 2 or 3 sips tops, right? So like very, very fast. So, and like it's not a lot. It's not like a lot of liquid, and it's very, very doable, right? In 2 sips, simple, right? And it's right, and only then, if I remember correctly, so this I'm not 100% sure, but the way I understand, just logically, so only then other beverage could be covered, even after the fact. So what does it mean? That if you if you say that the blessing on the wine, you did a little sip, and then but you intended to drink more, and then you start drinking this orange juice without blessing, and then you did this release of wine. Yeah, this all other beverages are covered. And how do I know? Why would I say so? Based on a comparison with bread, right? So it says yeah, bread covers all other foods, but only if you eat enough. So what is enough? It's kezais. It's 1 ounce, like 30 grams, 29 grams, right? For a period of time. And I have this issue, with some people, some guests sometimes come, or even in families, some does not want to eat bread. So I mean, I tell them, so you must eat bread in 3 minutes, 4 minutes tops, like this amount. If you don't want to eat, no problem. So you go with us wash, but you don't say a blessing with us, right? On washing, because you're not planning to eat so much bread, right? And plus, if you have intention to eat a small piece of bread, it's for sure less than kezais, for sure less than a half a kezais, right? Because there is a opinion there is I think 0.6 ounce, right? People like to eat the tiny bread, so that's the issue. That's the issue. So I tell them your meal is not covered, so you have to. Okay, so now you ate this piece of bread. You want to eat salad, so on salad you have to make the blessing. You understand? So bread is not covered. That's based on logic. I understand that's my guess that it should apply also to the liquids. So meaning that the answer to this first part of the question, yes, person must drink this 3 ounces. This we call revis. In order that all other liquids be covered. Okay, so that's I think more or less complete answer. Okay, so next one is and being covered. Well, what does it mean? Being covered. Before we continue, being covered meaning that everything that they're going to bring. Let's say after they were drinking, like sitting around talking and drinking, let's say, and they say 20 minutes like, oh, you want to drink coffee? Oh, let's drink coffee. So like in the beginning when they start drinking this wine, they had no intention to drink coffee, but it's like same as a bread meal. So even like with bread meal does not only like include everything on the table, right? Everything that you might eat. Maybe it's a refrigerator. Maybe even you need to cook. For example, somebody cooks fast. I don't know, whatever is it, right? Like instant soup or something, right? So it cooks very fast, right? So it's all also included, covered by bread. Okay, so same with these liquids. Even you do not have intention, they're covered. So next one, second question. What is a bracha achrana on a puree? So I guess bracha. No, bracha. Okay, so what is a blessing on puree? So puree, like for example, this if you have puree from grapes and from white grapes, right? White green grapes, right? And like I don't know, maybe some expert would tell apart, but for me, I would not tell apart. Is it from especially when there is no pieces? So puree, let's put it this way: you have this some kind of mix, like a grinder or whatever you have. So like a complete puree. So you would say shechakol on that, right? Because it looks like shechakol, but at the end product, so you say miam shalosh. Miam shalosh meaning that the 3-part blessing, because after the fact, like you ate grapes, right? It does not look like grapes, but it is grapes. Also, this when people eat wine, right? So like just looking at the wine, you also do not know when it is wine, but when you start drinking, so you realize that it is wine. Okay, so it's 3-part blessing is bracha achrana. So bracha achrana is the last blessing. Okay, so next question. Question about saying Hashem's name in vain. That's a big one. When reading Chumash or Tehillin and pronouncing Hashem's name, sometimes we misread the latter part of the sentence. Okay, do we need to correct the sentence as correcting a bracha? Okay. Are we allowed to read the sentence, to reread the sentence? That this count as saying Hashem's name in vain? That's a very good question. So one more time. Question about saying Hashem's name in vain. So it says that Hashem does not like when His name is being taken in vain, and people can lose their life. Chas v'shalom, right? So it's serious offense, right? The Beis Din can give a death penalty for this thing. Okay, so when reading Chumash or Tehillim and pronounces Hashem name, sometimes we read the later part of the sentence. All right, so okay. So do we need to correct the sentence as we correct bracha, right? So blessing, when person saying blessing and pronounce the Hashem's name in vain, and she said the wrong blessing. So what would be example? So they want to eat strawberry, and they say on the strawberry prichoyetz, meaning they say that it's fruit of the tree. So it's not fruit of the tree. So and let's say a person did not realize, and they start eating and then said, oh, it's not correct blessing. How could I continue eating? Right, As a person stops. Of course, in this case, a person must say the complete blessing from the beginning to the end. if he or she remember like in a 1.5 seconds, so they correct. They say "Borepri ha'et ha'adama," meaning they correctly finished. But if the complete sentence is wrong, so and it's after 2 seconds or 1.5 2 seconds, that's it. So they have to say the blessing again. So in this case of when person reads a verse from Chumash and they made a mistake, and it's serious mistake, serious mistakes. Serious, it's they mispronounced the word. It's not like they did not put accent on this first syllable or middle. I'm not talking about that. So even you pronounce the word it's understandable. Like in the shul where I go, people use different pronunciation, different accents, and on the mincha on Shabbos, verse who reads from Iranian Jew. So he read the Torah with Arabic accent. Okay, of course we understand what he said. I mean, I would not understand unless I follow. And I apologize. I take it back. So it's very very different melody, different everything is different, right? But most of the time we understand. So I hear the way he's saying, I follow, no problem. Right, but if person says something absolutely wrong, like ending, or skip the ending, I don't know, space out, so in this case, yeah, we must repeat the verse, and there is no problem whatsoever. So you can repeat the verses as many times as you want. So some people learn by heart, and it's actually going to meditation. Somebody asked us in this class. I think in this class also, if there is a Jewish meditation, absolutely, there is a Jewish meditation in Musar. Absolutely, one of the thing in Musar, they would take one verse and dwell on it and repeat it many times during the day, one verse until they get it. You understand? So there is no problem whatsoever. I mean, in that case, you would say I don't think people will use Hashem's name, but one time or 2 times to repeat, there is no problem. Okay. So you just want to emphasize something. There is no problem. Are we allowed to read? Okay, so yeah, we're allowed to read it, no problem. And it's proper to read it. Why? Because maybe you don't know all of this grammar. Sometimes we read, and I'm not into grammar, but most of the people also not into grammar, right? But on the bottom, on the footnotes, they say no, but it's like this. But if there would be this Nikud instead of this Nikud, is going to be sound like this, like a totally different word. So yeah, so it's proper to read it, and that's it. Okay, continue. Question about Yichud. Okay, if man and a woman are in secluded region with a few young children under the age of 3, okay, or a few children with mental disorders and limited understanding, it is permitted? No, it's not permitted. Absolutely not. It's not permitted. So I mean, if they're not married, absolutely not. So that's why we always say before doing something, do your calculations. You understand? Think a little ahead, right? So for example, somebody wrote left me messages, few of them, and I'm going to take maybe 2 or 3 or maybe 7 days before responding, because sometimes before doing things we have to think about it, because it's very very sensitive area. Okay, I don't want to offend the person, but he's very interesting character. Okay, so next one, Shalom Aleichem Kavod Rav, on the subject of the anger and Lashon Hara. Is it permitted to be angered by sexual criminals, liars, scoffers, and Amalek? I mean, this is not productive, basically, right? And right, okay, you person is what is it? angry with these criminals, like what is going to do to your life? Are they going to stop being criminals? No. So it's not productive. So I've said scoffers and liars and scoffers. Basically, Rambam is going to teach us in this our Monday class, Hilchos Dios, right? That person should not be angry, never, right? Sometimes, in some situations, like in this situation specifically, so you're allowed to show that you're angry, right? To show like you're fuming, even, right? So to scare people, so they would not do crazy things, right? But deep inside, you should not be angry, unless there is somebody is doing Hil HaShem and you're able to stop it, yeah. But otherwise, we're trying to be calm. Okay, so starting from me. So I also have this problem to get annoyed or angry with somebody, like this individual. Like he's a nice meaning person, but what he said, like they compare the parallel that he drew, like I prefer maybe to take several days before responding, so to calm down and stuff like that. Okay, so continue. Shalom Aleichem Kvod Rav. Question about Halachos of brachas. Okay, since Allah Eitz covers the Borev Nefashos. Okay, before continue, I apologize. In this question, first, I mean the question that we covered before, that wine would cover all other beverages. So after you finish drinking all the beverage, you say only one blessing. Only one blessing you say on after this me'am shalosh for wine. That's it. So and this is going to cover all of the other beverages. No brand nefashos needed. Okay, just okay, before I forgot. Okay, so one more time. A question about halachas of brachas. Since Allah eats, so Allah eats is on the fruits, right? Covers barei nefashos for fruit. Does after blessing wine cover barei nefashos of beverages? Yeah, okay. So you see, I did not finish reading, but that's an amazing question. Yes, answer yes, and the first part of the question. So we need to explain. For example, a person ate grapes. A person ate grapes and apples and I don't know what else, nuts, right? So what else? And apples and pears, right? So a person, if he ate enough grapes, this kizais, I'm not sure how many grapes. Of course, they different size, like to be 1 ounce, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, in 3 minutes. So we have to keep in mind, right? To eat this much, and in 3 to 4, but maximum 9 minutes. So in this case, you do this big blessing, me'am shalosh, right? For and me'am shalosh, and you would do this thing for alates, meaning for fruits, and it's going to be covered. So for fruits, we usually we say it only usually when we eat grapes separately. You ate grapes and all other fruits also included, right? But before blessing, it's not so simple. So, for example, a person wants to eat a pear before he eats grapes. It's not preferable way. For example, he has a bowl of fruits and he planning to eat everything, right? Grapes and pears. So it's proper, like according to all opinions, to make the blessing on the grapes. So it's one of the 7 species that the land of Israel is blessed with, and then all other fruits are included. So, but if person likes this pear so much for whatever reason, so and grapes, okay, right, secondary. So if when he makes a blessing on a pear, he makes mental kavana, have a mental concentration to that the grapes also must be covered. So no problem, the grapes are going to be covered. But if a person did not have this mental intention to eat grapes as well, grapes are not covered. So usually the case is when you have a bowl of fruits and you have different fruits in front of you. So you say a blessing on one and you say, no, I'm going to take 2 nuts, that's it, only 2 nuts, I'm not hungry. And then you took 2 nuts, and then you ate apple and pear and other things. So all of these are covered, right? All of this covered because they were in front of you. But this grape is exception. So unless you have like specifically in mind to include grapes when you were making blessing on a pear, they included. If not, if you did not have explicit intention, so then grapes are not covered. So you say blessing on a pear and blessing on a grape. So this is like extra blessing. So I mean, don't put yourself in that situation. Even though, like after the fact, like you of course you are obligated to make this blessing. Otherwise, the grapes would not be permitted. But we try not to make this extra unnecessary blessing. Unnecessary. Okay. I mean, they're necessary, but person put himself in that situation. So I mean, we don't create situations. Okay. So yeah, very good question. So next one. So okay, Rav, on the subject of the daily Shema. Okay, that's good. And brachas. Should this be made priority to learn and master English if you raise in English to replace the thoughts from Yetzer Hara and to avoid making mistakes from stumbling upon the Hebrew that is new to us. Okay, so let's read again. So on a subject of the daily Shema and brachas, should this be made a priority to learn the master language and master in English, right? In English, replace the thoughts. So okay, so let's split it in half. So first of all of the blessing, all of the prayers might be done in any language. So if it's a reliable translation, there is no problem, right? So there is no problem. Actually, it says in Hebrew, like I think it's from Talmud Sota. Actually, there are several things that must be said in Hebrew, and that's it. So in a prayer, not one of them. So one of them, when the person would come to Yerushalayim, for example, it's from top of my head, right? And he would say that I remove all of the tithe from my house, and it's actually before Pesach, right? Before Pesach, and this declaration he must do in Hebrew. Declaration, actually, another one very interesting on the first fruits on the Shavuos, like Shavuos is coming, so people would bring first fruits to the temple, and there is also some declarations, some statements that must be made in Hebrew, or when there is a chalitza meaning that a person died and he did not have children at all, right? And the brother must marry his wife. The alive brother must marry his deceased brother wife, and then they have relations and have a blessing, and that the child would come, and it would be like the soul from this deceased would come into this child. Okay, that's the thing. But if she does not want to marry him, or he does not want to marry her, so they do chalitza, and chalitza must be said in Hebrew, right? Because it says, and she's going to say this and that. Okay, so it's and plus another thing that I remember is a coin, right? When coin would address people before the special coin that anointed for the war, they call it, right? So it's like special coin that would go with the army, not the Kohen Gadol, not a deputy of Kohen Gadol. They stay in the base of English, but a special this coin, right? So they say these things in Hebrew, or whatever they need to say, like, right? But other things we say in any language you want. And the problem is that many people just learn Hebrew, and Hebrew is very nice sounding, right? And it's the text is shorter. Just so you know, the text is shorter, and they start like they pray very, very fast, and they know exactly zero what they're praying, exactly zero, exactly. So right, that's a big problem. So you say in any language you raise in English, so raising you do in English, and plus learning. So the prayers and the blessing person is not obligated to understand. So meaning what? If you say a blessing, so somebody told you, you say those words, they give you a transliteration, for example, and you read this word, you know that this is blessing for a pear, for a fruit. So okay, so after the fact, there is no problem that you did not understand what you said. I mean, in general, you understand, and then you go right, right. All the prayers you have a commentary, so that this is morning prayers, this is afternoon prayers, so there is no problem. You just say prayers, no problem, right? But learning must be in English and in your first language, right? In first language that you understand. Some people try to do in Gemara in Aramaic. I mean, if you're good in Aramaic, if you're good in Hebrew, stuff like you're expert. Yeah, that's amazing. But most of the people are not. At least we're not talking about people who live in Israel in exile. They're not. They're not the expert and far from expert, right? So that's the thing. So it's a hara, of course. Like when we say, for example, that we are meditating on things. So how you can meditate on things if you do not understand? So first you learn the text and right the meaning, and then you can add Hebrew little by little. So we always advise like maybe one line, maybe two lines, maybe Shema, like first paragraph, right? Slowly, then the second paragraph, this and that, maybe like from Shmona Esrei, maybe one blessing, two blessings, and slowly we build up whenever we have time. And plus, I would also recommend somebody wants to learn Hebrew. I mean, it takes a little longer time, but it's very good to have they have like interlinear, right? They call it. So meaning that there is a Hebrew text and there is a translation underneath. Okay, so for example, of course, like if you're going to read Hebrew and translation, is going to take you forever. But at least one line, like concentrate on one line each word, like for a week, whatever, for 2 weeks, for whatever time, and it would help. Okay, but otherwise, yeah, do it in your own first language. Okay, so making mistakes. Right, so what is the proper way to learn the Shema, not dishonor? Learn the Shema, not to dishonor HaShem. I'm not sure. Like you just learn like words. So you make sure that you pronounce them correctly, and that's it. I mean, you're not dishonor HaShem by that. Opposite. It's like so person who is learning. So we have to understand that this person is like HaShem will look at that person as like a little child. So a little child can repeat the word, the name of HaShem many times. And if you try to stop this little child, guess what he or she is going to do? They're going to repeat even more, and they're going to repeat in the bathroom. So you just ignore that, because if you try to fight with the child, nothing good is going to come out of it, right? So you just ignore it, right? And they can repeat many times, right? So the only issue is that children repeated many times is for us to answer Amen. Right, so especially when they mispronounce stuff like that, and he would take a little bite, and take a little piece of bread, chamotz lechem nechaoretz. Okay, I mean, and then a little piece again. He wants to say again chamotz. So you don't say amen, okay, but you like amen or something, amen, like skip some sounds. Understand? So because we're not allowed to say this orphan amen. They call it orphan amen, meaning the orphan meaning it's not connected to anything. So and this the blessing of a child was not needed. So it's orphan amen. So we try to be careful, but same way Hashem treats all the people who are new, like you sincerely trying. So everybody makes mistakes. Child make mistakes. We make mistakes. There is no problem. Okay. So, but after some time, that if you're just learning, so you're not a little child, no longer like, so you can use you say HaShem. So instead of Adoi, for example, you say HaShem. But right, but if you're afraid that you're going to remember this blessing with the word HaShem, so don't you're allowed to say completely. Okay, again for the purpose of learning. Next one, shall clear up a question about laws. Just 1 second. For kohen and lashon hara. Very interesting. Because a kohen has a very special condition of purity, it is possible for him to understand the Torah beyond what is normal. Very interesting. Okay, very unusual question. A question about the loss of the kohen and lashon hara. Okay. Because kohen has a very special condition of purity. Kohen has a very special condition of purity. Okay. It is possible for him to understand the Torah beyond what is normal. Okay. Okay. Continue reading. What should we do when the righteous non-Jew say that the righteous kohen is speaking heresy? Is this event in this event that it is possible that either the non-Jew did not correctly understand what he believed that the righteous kohen was saying, or the righteous kohen has done teshuvah in an event that the non-Jew believed was true? What should the righteous non-Jew do? Okay. Taking into account that his life is in danger due to terrible state of health. Okay. Would the non-Jewish risk of death to connect to the opinion of he expressed about a righteous kohen? Wow, that's a serious question. So first of all, let's start from then. So the basic idea: if a person's life is in danger, they're not obligated to risk it, right? So even there is a possibility of life in danger. So unless it's three big sins, right? So meaning what that they trying to do to make us commit the murder, commit incest, or with their eyes, or the forbidden sexual relations, or bow to the idols. So these people, if we're going to risk our life to try to educate all the crazy people in the world, I mean, all go try to reason with Muslims who said I'm going to kill you, right? So we're not obligated to do so. Just to make it clear. Okay, so one more time. So I'll kohenim on any special level. I never heard about it that a kohenim on any special level. So any person can sanctify themselves, right, and be on a special level because the secrets of the Torah is a gift from HaShem, right? If person sanctifies himself as a kohen, non-kohen does not matter, right? So because a kohen has a very special conditions of purity, so they have condition of purity because of their job description, right? Right. For example, the job description of or their livelihood, right? What does it mean livelihood? We're not talking about today. We're talking about when they had temple, they would get truma, right? Truma for sure. Everybody would like to give truma, so he had this special truma. 1% or 2% from the produce that was given to a kohen. So he would need to eat this truma in a state of spiritual purity. So you understand. So he would have this food. So he would need to constantly maintain this. Be very very careful, be in a state of spiritual purity. Right, but say that the kohenim know better, know Torah better than other people. I don't think so. I never heard about it. Okay. So second part of the question: What should we do? A righteous do when a righteous non-Jew says that a righteous kohen speaks heresy. Righteous non-Jew says that the righteous kohen speaks heresy. Okay. In the event that it is possible to either, in the event that it is possible that either the non-Jew did not correctly understand that he believes that the righteous kohen was saying, or the righteous kohen has done teshuva. So I mean, sometimes it's better to give it to somebody to somebody knowledgeable to see if whatever he said is correct, and maybe it sounds like, oh, I had this incident yesterday. So on one of the channels, somebody crazy lady, and I mean, now you will understand why I call her crazy. So she said us message, I don't remember what clip was it, whatever, doesn't matter. So she said, are you related to this and this rabbi who said that Satan and God, God is a Satan? God is a Satan. Normal, who would say that? And and she was accurate. So I copy and paste. I copy and paste his name, copy and paste his quote that she put in quote. And yes, these anti-Semites, other people, they don't like this rabbi. I mean, I heard about him, but I listened to what he said, and he was he was trying to explain, and some people not very sharp in explaining things, and whatever. And he did say whatever she said, and all of these people blew out of proportion. So, but the thing that he was trying to explain, he just, I mean, some people cannot explain right. They're not prepared for this. I mean, whatever. But he's been giving lecture for a long time. That's what surprised me. Maybe 15, 20 years, maybe more. Right? So, and he's part of a famous organization. They have channel, have buildings. Okay, I'm not going to name that. Doesn't matter. But I watched this clip, and he was trying to say that HaShem is everything. But instead of saying for simple people, for kindergarten, so not kindergarten, so everybody the dumbest person in the world would understand, and same as scholars also need to understand. So he was supposed to say, and I would say, there is no other force beyond HaShem, period. So all of the bad, right, it's part of HaShem. All of the good, it's part of the HaShem. There is nothing beyond HaShem. And the Satan, we had a clip, and I actually copy and paste this clip. He's an angel, but it's very subordinate to HaShem. So he would not do anything unless HaShem would decide it to. So he would not have would take in somebody's life, right? Because he's an angel of death, unless it was prescribed in the heavenly court. There is exception, the famous exception of Talmud, but it's only exception, and it was justifiable, this, that. But he would not do from somebody from the left field, as they call it, from nothing, right? So, and if you explain the way I explained, so you say, yeah, is Satan real? Yes. Is he against HaShem? Absolutely. How can you be against HaShem how can you be against HaShem or for HaShem? As we explained yesterday, how can you bring joy to HaShem? Does he have anger? Does he upset? Is he get angry? No, it's in human terms, right? So same with this Satan, and we had a few clips about the Satan, right? And actually, the second one that it's from Michtav Meliyahu. So we said that the bad is needed to accentuate the good. So unless you have all of the wicked people, so many wicked people, how do you know who is holy, who is righteous? Oh, with you see how these people are wicked, and this person, maybe he's average, maybe she's average according to times of Yaakov Avinu, or or even later generations, right? But according to Vilna Gaon, in his generation, but according to our times, like all the wicked people, right? So you need this negativity in order to give more credence to what is it to righteous person. So I mean, but there's nothing against HaShem. But the way he explained, it sounds, and I saw many a replay, and they put it in clips, and they put like their own things like to it, edit the words, like people jump on this person. So did he say anything wrong? I mean, he could not express himself correctly, but otherwise, and that's I brought these points, I brought these clips. So there is no problem. But I say, yeah, we're related. If you want related, no, yes. We're related through Yaakov Avinu. Right? We have Yaakov, forefather Yaakov, yeah, we're all from him. So if we're related. Okay, very interesting. So I would say give somebody to check, but it's possible. So maybe did this person did it say it intentionally to confuse people? Absolutely not. Does he say that God is Satan? Chas v'shalom. Of course not. I mean, he looks like a kosher person to me. I mean, okay. So right. So he said something, but based on the rest of the speech. So I did like a few other clips, like 2 minutes on a second speed. So he said whatever he said. Maybe I would explain it differently, but maybe they pay him 4 minutes. I don't know. So he make it stretch out very long. Okay. Yeah, and plus, even if he was mistaken, right? He was mistaken, but he did to sure. Yeah, so we're not allowed to suspect him, especially as a person in the first category, right? Because I'm just going by the text, right? If we call him righteous, so you're not allowed to suspect him. So maybe we did not know something. Maybe we ask him a question, what exactly he meant. And he said, "Oh no, well, 1 second. From this clip, but did you attend my previous lecture? No, I did not. Yeah, in previous lecture we started this topic, and I just can build it up on that. Okay, so you understand? So yeah, don't jump to conclusions. You can ask him, follow up, but if life is in danger, just leave it alone, and that's it. So we don't have time to fight with every wicked person. Okay, so some people, for example me, I mean they're not wicked, but a waste of my precious time. Well, why is it precious? Because other people need help, need serious help, and right, and these people just waste of time. So I'm just cut them out. Okay. Shalom Rav. General question: if person frequently sleeps in a mitzvah and being overcome by Yetzer Hara, how do we know that we can help that person, or the person might weaken us and affect our spirituality negatively? So how can we help that person? Provide information, right? So we can only help a person if person wants to be helped. Understand? So we provide information, and I try not to stay around around this person for a long time. Why? Because many people, from my experience, they just looking for attention. They need company. They need somebody to listen to them, right? And they would ask you a question, and then they would seem like they care. But check after a few sometimes if they actually did something from your advice. Let's say they ask, I need your advice. And guess what? Many times they did not. So you understand it's a waste of time. So just provide information and don't get in too close. Okay, so next one. Shalom Karav, question. Just 1 second, checking time. Question about having prejudice. Okay. Given in many places, a local Chabad is acting in a way not according to Halacha, and sometimes causing major HaShem, which is very different from the original Chabadniks, who are holy tzaddikim, are we allowed to have prejudice or stereotype about nowadays Chabad and people attending the events? It's a very good question. So let's read it again and we try to explain. Question about the having prejudice. Given in many places, local Chabad is acting in a way not according to Halachah, and sometimes calling it HaShem, which is very different from the original Chabad, the Holy Tzaddikim. Okay. Are we allowed to have prejudice stereotype about the nowadays Chabad and people attending the events? I mean, let me answer the like easy part of the question. So the easier part of the question, and then we try to go to the root of it. These people who attend. So people who attend, they do not know better and they feel very at home, right? And they consider to be Chabadniks. Like say, how are you Chabadniks? You wearing these ripped jeans? That's what Chabad style? Well, what is it? No, like he said, I'm acceptable. I'm this. They like me. That. I'm like, who likes you then? Okay, so who are they? You understand? So people just like to be accepted. The people do not like to be told what to do, and they only want to hear compliments. So, is it like, can you stereotype these people? I don't know. Maybe, but the bottom line, like, how is it going to help us, like, to help to think better about people? So I would say, like, our approach should be, so these people in danger. So Chabadniks, can you help these Chabadniks? Probably not, right? Because first of all, they don't see themselves being sick, right? Second of all, there is a bribe of money, so there is good money, right? He has like a minyan only like once in a while on holidays, sometimes on Shabbos, sometimes yes. I mean, of course, like there is no minyan, but only if they have a big meal or something. Like and he and the whole family survives. How is it possible? Right? Everybody knows how to rent, and guess what? He lives in his own house. He just moved in this very expensive, expensive neighborhood. He bought himself a house from where? Guess what? Right? So it's a very good business. So they're not going to change their ways very soon, right? When, as we know, money blind the wise, and they see only their way, and they think they're helping community, and they're like keeping them exactly the same. Like you come 20 years later, somebody I'm Bolshevik, oh you're Bolshevik, but you keep like a dome or something. Like, well, why is that? Because it comes from the pocket. He keeps it in the pocket, but not in all the pants. In some pants it is, but in some pants it is not. So they still do not know like to keep to wear the kippah. You understand? Or to keep kosher or anything. So it's not going to help to be prejudiced, right? But we know that these people who are attending this Chabad house, they are victims of this lie. Do they want to be victims? Most likely yes. They chose to be victims. Absolutely yes. But we have to show them the light. We have to show them the truth. And what they're going to do after that is their own business. But to think bad about people, how it is going to help? It's not going to help them, and it's not going to help me. But to see them as I don't know, as somebody that potential needs our help, that's I think the proper approach, right? And these events, I mean, people like to be like part. They like to be do something Jewish. Right? Some people meet me, like, I don't know, I try not to talk to people, and they say, no, but they started using the Yiddish words, like Hebrew words. Well, and the time I say, speak about, like, where are you from? Or when I was living in neighborhood, like everybody from my neighborhood, somehow. I mean, and they know the streets, I don't know, whatever, right? So they say, yeah, I went to this restaurant, that restaurant. I mean, okay. So they like to connect. So right. So these people like to connect to culture, but not to Judaism. Right. Okay. So So this clown from not clown, this person from Nature Karta, so he said very good about this Chabadnik. So this person asked him like, why Chabad is for pro what is it, Zionist? Zionists are enemies of HaShem. So he said it's very interesting. So because until the last Rabbi, right? So they say that we are in danger in this world. We are in danger unless we have these big guns and these soldiers, so Zionist soldiers. So we're in danger. So we have to join them. You understand? So very interesting. It's very, very, very different from a normal Judaism approach. Okay, that we need guns. Until 2,000 years we did not need guns, but now we need guns in order to protect. And he had a very good points, right? He said that it becomes safer for a Jew. He said, well, what is the most dangerous place for a Jew to be? In Israel. And it's just, maybe it's not true, maybe, but it's very, okay, so continue. Shalom Kod Rav, why is Hashem's name pronounced different? Sometimes with a different prefix. Oh, but prefix, because that's like Hebrew language, right? So you say Lach Hashem for Hashem. So that's they put prefix, yes. Also in prayer, one does not pronounce the bracha with the correct prefix for Hashem name. Are we saying the bracha wrong? Also, if in a prayer one does. It could be wrong. Yes. So if you forgot to prefix, I mean, so for somehow, right? And it's absolutely wrong. So as I told you guys several times, so me remember these prayers by heart was the biggest disaster in my life. The biggest disaster. Why? Because I'm sure all other people doing this. I start combining verses, this and that, and they're like, what are you saying? It's not from here. Few times I caught myself. It's not from here. Just like a melody, right? Like a tune. You go by the tune. It's disaster. So I forced myself to stop, and when I tried to read, and I saw this one very interesting individual not in this shul, in another shul. So he was very, very learned, very, very knowledgeable person, very, very, very. And when he prayed, on front, he would do a finger, with a finger, on every word, like a child, and his children, when they prayed in front, also they did the same. So when I first saw it, you serious? Other people do not even point when they read from the Torah. You have no idea. Of course you can catch up after some times, but I want to follow from the beginning. So sometimes they roll you space out, you're not no longer following until you try to find they finish the whole page or something. But this guy was like a little child, and that's how he was taught. But he never made a mistake, never ever. So I prayed with him on Shabbos day. I don't know, several years, 3 years, 4, I don't know, some years, and he never made it. Other people, yes, he never ever. Understand? So a little child would point out to each word. It's amazing. So he was my inspiration to start forgetting prayers and read everything, try to concentrate on the words. Not even if you know you can say faster from your memory, try to read every word. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. It was a meeting. There were 10 people. There were 3 lawyers and 2 doctors out of 5 people. Out of 10 people. It's very interesting. Why? Okay, continue. Okay, there are a question about the beauty standard and Emunah in HaShem. We learn in the Torah that the soldier wants to marry a captive woman. Yes, she needs to shave her hair and grow her nails to uglify herself first. Correct. From this, we understand in Hashem's eyes those signs of unattractiveness. Should we emulate Hashem in this, and also keep only very short nails, like the minimal length? Okay, so let's see. That's a famous question. Oh, thank you for posting universal solution. Yes. So one more time. So Shulchan question about beauty standard and emulating Hashem. So meaning one of the 613 commandments is said that a Jew must be holy, right? And Rambam in his treatise for how this 613 principle compiles, he said that it must be not something general. Mitzvah, one of 613 mitzvahs cannot be anything general, but it must be specific with definition, right? This is beginning, this is the end. Sometimes you need to say blessings, no blessing, doesn't matter. But it must be some concrete definition. So and one of the 613 mitzvahs is to be holy. How you what is it to be holy? What do you need to do? Do they have to jump or I don't know, stand on my head? How do you be holy? Right, and he explained, and Sefer Chachinuch explains, right, that to be holy, meaning the emulated Hashem, going his way. Right, Miktam Eliyahu, Rabbi Dessler says many times. So, as our sages says, He's merciful, you be merciful, and the more you acquire these characters that Hashem, that attributed to Hashem, the more you're attached to Hashem, right, and the more He likes you in some sense. Okay. So that's we just explain what is emulating Hashem is. So that's our goal all the time. Our goal to emulate Hashem. Okay. We learn in Torah that the soldier wants to marry a captive woman, right? So she's not a Jew, right? She needs to shave her hair and grow her nails and uglify herself first. So meaning, and plus she must be in a period of mourning. I don't remember how they derived, but most likely her mother and father were killed in this war, right? Most likely, right? Or she would never see her nation again, her family again, and she's sitting there crying in this Jewish guy living room, right? And she keeps her nail long and stuff like this. So. This nail long, of course, the thing is today women have all of these tools to clean their nails behind, under the nails, but in olden days it was not such an easy thing to do. Today they have all these things to apply, to cut, make it look nice, but olden days there were no such a things, right? No scissor, no the cuticles, all of this did not exist. Right, so these the nails, the file they have today, they can form it nicely, right? All the days they did not have that. I mean, maybe stone. Go try to use stone or something. Right. From this, we understand that Hashem's eyes, those a sign of unattractiveness. I would say Hashem said that in the eyes of the guy it should be unattractiveness. There is no sign of unattractiveness in Hashem, right? His eyes. I mean, the only thing that Hashem hates is a very unattractive is a sin, right? So, but he wants this guy to be unattracted to this woman. So he was with her one time. It was allowed because it was no way to stop us. All of this. Her craziness rushes through the veins. As a person, when a person in a battle, so they would allow them to do some other things. For example, to eat non-kosher food and this and that. So okay. If woman should woman emulate Hashem and this also keep the nails very short, the minimal length? Not necessarily. So if they're kept, not nicely kept, like taken care of, there is no such a need. If they do, of course, before going to the mikvah, she should trim the nails, but otherwise there is no such standard. It's only for a husband, right? It's for a husband. Okay. I remember when I used to go to the office, like I would take the subway. So when you take in subway in New York City, so you meet all the characters. So like the most unusual character. And sometimes like like when you go in rush hours, there are many people. So you hold on to the bar, and sometimes when somebody next comes and they put their hand on the bar, so you just suddenly we try not to look at the person and you look at the hand, right? Like automatically, like somebody like next to your hand. And like few times I have these women with nails like this, like a claws, I don't know, like a not even line, I don't know, this like birds, like wild birds, like whoa. It was so disgusting. So I was thinking, was like, how is it possible to perform anything? How she would wash dishes, something, I don't know, like make like cut salad or something. How can she hold a knife or something and a fork? The craziness. But normal nails, there is no problem. Okay. So it's decided. Okay. So next one, general question. Sorry for my little understanding on the subject. I wonder what is the relation between Satan in Midas Hadin. They both sound like persecutors. And I wonder how they interact. Okay, so Satan has three roles in this world. So he's the Yetzer Hara, who provoke people to sin. He's a prosecutor. Prosecutor meaning that he comes to Shemaim and he said, I have a case. This guy, this girl actually sinned, and he is all documented. And sometimes when other person in this world speaks Lashon Hara, said, oh, look, you thought I'm the bad one, I'm only against people. No, he is another Jew, he's speaking about another Jew, and he's very respectable. So him, maybe me, you don't want to trust, but him you can trust. So this Jew becomes like second witness against this sinner. You understand? So if sinner is going to be punished because of two witnesses in spiritual sense, right? Meaning that the one who spoke Lashon Hara and the Satan, right? And the third job of the Satan is to be angel of death. So he's involved in persecution very much, right? Midas Hadin. Midas Hadin is a character attribute of justice. Strict justice, meaning HaShem said, if you do this, you deserve death penalty. So right for whatever thing, right? So that's Midas Hadin. But in our, of course, the world would not survive, right? If only be run by Midas Hadin, right? So Hashem tempered this this attribute of justice with attribute of mercy. And mercy does not cancel judgment. Mercy, it just gives person a little more time, not to punish him or her right away. That's definition of mercy. So it's not like a judgment is canceled. Okay, you can go home. Or you feel sorry. I mean, sorry is not good example. Maybe because a person did teshuvah, but Hashem does not just let it go. Okay, so that's connection between Satan and Midas Hadin. Yes, they both sound like prosecutors. So three roles. Yetzer Hara. Then when he's Yetzer Hara, he makes like this the best friend of that person, right? So I'm looking after you. So you have enjoyment in this world, this and that, and then he comes in Shemaim and say all of these things about the person. And then when the times comes, when he get the permission, he comes and takes the life of that person. Okay. in Ruth 1:16, she said, let's say the okay, so okay, so I'm not sure what is the question. Okay. So next one, we're on the subject Loshen Hara. On the Giyur weather. Okay. Are these Loshen Hara considerations when discussing the weather? For example, if we were to intend on trying to stay in a certain place, but we are told that the hurricane predicted to come. Okay, so on the subject of Lashon Hara and Giyur and the weather. Okay. Are there any Lashon Hara consideration discussing weather? For example, if we intend on trying to stay in certain place, but we are told that hurricane prediction predicted to come. I mean, it's not Lashon Hara, meaning that I mean, so somebody's warning you, and we said it's actually one of the 613 commandments. Do not stand idle when your brother's blood is being spilled, right? So a person is planning to move to this neighborhood, right? Not yet, and they say, look, when are you going to planning? And he said, yeah, in 7 days. He said, can you postpone, because in 7 days, 9 days, hurricane is going to be here. Maybe if you move here like after it, like in 2 weeks or something, would be better. Say, yeah, thank you very much. I did not know. And he or she looks up, yeah, it's coming. For sure it's coming. Like most, I mean, I think like this big one hurricane, I think whatever they say, most of the time they were correct. Like maybe not magnitude, but like not exactly, but it came. Like most of them came, it was a disaster, basically. So it's not Lashon Hara. Okay, so next one. So Kudrov, question about hurt feelings and measure for measure. Okay. If one faces many situations that they need to act to make a decision that hurts other feelings, for example, they often outcompete others and result in hurting the feelings of the lost parties, or they reject people who are interested in them as a result in hurting their feelings. If they have no intention to hurt anyone, will they face measure for measure punishment for hurting other feelings? Absolutely, yes. We have to be careful with other people's feelings. And that's what sometimes I have to tell women. So they have to play a little dumber, so hide themselves, because so at least in several cases, the husbands were not what is the expression? Were not the sharpest tool in a shed, right? And she was much sharper, much smarter, much educated, much this, much that. But he found it offensive, and even on subconscious, and he would insult her many times. Why? Because when I understood what's going on, I told her you have to hide. So don't be so smart in his face. If you want to continue to live with such person, he has a huge ego. It's his own business. I mean, we're not talking about cure this thing, but to balance the relationships, right? So we have to hide our achievements, right? And people do not lose things. If you're going to play I don't know, a game with a child and you're always going to win, guess what? He or she going to get upset. They would not want to play with you and be upset with you. Maybe sometimes very aggressive against you. You understand? So you have to let the child win. So same as a grown-up man. Sometimes they worse than a little child. Okay. So again, the question about hurt feelings and measure for measure. I mean, but with adults, if they feeling hurt because they're great ego. So that's not a problem, right? But some people are very sensitive, so like let them be right. Okay. If one faces many situations that they need to act or make a decision that hurts other people, other feelings. For example, they outcompete others and result in hurting the feeling lost parties. So, I mean, if it's like work related, this, but um, the thing is, the problem is such a person can attract a lot of like hatred, like in their life from this outcompete. If you can cut them off and not to be like in the same surroundings, that's one thing. But if you must like interact with these people, so we have to get with a better strategy, at least like outcompete, but it should not be that obvious. Let's say, not in their face. Okay. Or they reject people who are interested in them. So again, it must be done intact for example, like as I said today, these people are going to the garbage or whatever. Some people like waste of my time. So of course I'm not going to tell them that the waste of my time. I can tell you that, but to them I would say nicely that look, I'm very busy, so like find yourself rabbi, like who would answer, like maybe local, somebody knows you better, because I know that these people waste of my time. 100%. So, but I would put it nicely, so not to hurt the feeling. And plus, the question that you ask, it's about my competence. It's not. But okay, so just like make them feel a little good and just leave me alone, basically. You understand? But tell them that anyway you're not going to listen and this and that, and from my experience, and remember all this like negativity is not good. So we have to like always to try to like round the corners, like smooth the edges. Otherwise, like it's not good when feeling hatred from other people. Not good, right? And again, this reject people interested in them. So the thing is, okay, so rejecting people. So always have your for yourself plan B and C. Right, so don't be put in a situation when you decide, and sometimes when you don't say that answer right away, you procrastinate, and it's sometimes it's much better than to say something, to be truthful to the person, right? Maybe they get the point, but always try to have plan B, so like be a little vague, this and that, so they say whatever, and they will continue. But to be like direct and just reject, okay, go home. Okay, that's very hurtful. Okay, if they have no intention to hurt them. So intention is not like if a person does not have intention. So again, so that's would practice like implement these tactics. So what I'm going to do to say to the person no, so to reject the person, but reject is one word, but in my plan is like 17 steps how to reject these people. For example, they're annoying, so how to reject them. So meaning the different approach, but it should be nicely, and they should not be hurt. Like sometimes people, I don't know, this like from Sholem Bayis cases come to me, and I don't like people like he felt that he needed to say something to this woman to insulted her because she said this and she insulted whatever she insulted. So and if he would just keep his mouth shut for 3 seconds, his life would be very different. You understand? And me personally, just looking at all these stories, I don't have too many, but from the stories that come to me, to be quiet is such a big treasure. Being quiet in the right time, it's priceless. You understand? So just quiet. That's it. That's it. And sometimes people must learn your answer from you being quiet. And that's it. So. All right. So let's. There's no more questions. I want to do a story now. So let's continue. So our big topic is Laws of Shabbos. And the next, just one second, let's see. So maybe we're going to do maybe one or two halachos. Okay. So book Varev now, and Parsha Vayakel, and the story is trained monkey. Challenge. Handicapped person bought an expensive trained monkey to assist him in various tasks around the home, right? So it's much better than a dog, right? So if you think about it, one Shabbos monkey ran off and was later spotted on the roof on a neighboring building. By offering the monkey a piece of fruit, someone enticed it to descend from the roof. He then picked up the monkey and brought it back to the invalid's home. Did he thereby violate the prohibition Tzeida, trapping, and muktzah? Unbelievable stories. So let's try to understand. So this handicapped person, so he bought himself very expensive monkey. Right, the monkey is trained to assist. I don't know, monkey like a person, right? Man can do many things. Okay, I mean, I assume. Let's put it this way. I assume, right? Shabbos, it's ran away, right? Ran off, spotted on a roof's building, and this person trapped. So I mean, he trapped, meaning he offered this monkey piece of fruit. There is no problem. Let's say there is a roof. Also, no problem. But what is the problem? Trapping the animal. So when he took this animal into his hands, so for sure it is trapping, for sure, right? And second question about muktzah. So muktzah, all these animals are muktzah, so we're not allowed to carry them, right? Especially this monkey. Well, what are you going to do with the monkey? There is no usage on Shabbos. I mean, for somebody else, for this invalid person, yes, but for normal person, there is no such usage. Okay. So solution. The prohibition of Tzeida. So Tzeida is trapping, right? And trapping, as we said, trapping not only like in some snares or something like that. Trapping like even if you caught it with your hands, right? The prohibition of Tzeida does not apply to domestic animals that are comfortable in a home and enter voluntarily. See Shulchan Aruch 316. Okay, Mishnah Berurah. Okay. The prohibition of muktzah applies even to domesticated animals. So trapping, he said there is no problem with animal. Again, so just to clarify, because it's only one sentence, if the animal does not feel trapped. Right, so if you have a cat and they went out, come in, right? So you open the door, the cat came in, then you close the door. There is no problem. It's not that cat is trapped. He's very happy to be in the house. But if you try to close this cat in a bathroom, right? That's what the cat does not like it. It wants to get out, so that it would be trapping. Okay. The prohibition of muktzah applies even to domesticated animals. Okay, so it says Shulchan Aruch 308:39. Okay, so meaning that's why we said that we should not pet the animals on Shabbos and stuff like that. Okay, but it can be waived in this case for the sake of sick person and substantial monetary loss. So since this monkey was very needed for that sick person, so that's why they say maybe it's exception to the muktzah, but in a substantial monetary loss. Usually we say if in some categories of muktzah that doesn't matter like a monetary loss. For example, a person was doing something before Shabbos and left his drill like on his front yard, backyard, and it's going to start raining soon. So it's Shabbos, so you're not allowed to take this drill. right? Just because it's going to get ruined. Absolutely not. Okay. So monetary loss is not consideration, but here he said it is a substantial monetary loss, so that he would allow. Okay, so what does it mean? Normally, it is forbidden to move muktzah, even to prevent monetary loss. Okay, as we just explained. See Mishnah Berurah 308. Okay. However, base mayor 3322 permits if the monetary loss is substantial. Have said meruba. So meaning a lot. Okay. Rabbi Wozner, our dear Rabbi Wozner, Zatzal Shevet Halevi, part 329.4, writes that although the accepted custom does not follow base mayor, base mayor meaning if it's very substantial loss, one may rely on his opinion if there is other consideration to be lenient, right? So meaning only on this thing is not allowed to rely because of the substantial financial loss. But if there is other reasons, so you can rely. So basically, person was able to was allowed to trap this monkey. So they say there is no trapping. I guess trapping. Again, this it's a little vague statement the way I understand. So maybe if it's dog, this dog feels comfortable with his family, with the kids, with everybody in the family. But I'm a strange person, and it would not feel so comfortable. For example, some dogs. We have neighbors has a dog. So like on all of the people like passerby, they would jump in jumps and stuff like that. Me, I come out like on a porch, like I'm there, not there. So he like this dog accepts me as his friend or something. Does not care. So if basically if I want to take this dog in my hands, it would not put a fight. But if somebody like from the street, like although like somebody comes to the porch and try to take the dog away, so the dog would not be so happy. So again, so it would be trapped in his hands, but in my hands, it looks like it's not going to be trapped, right? But I don't touch dogs. That's a different story. Okay, so let's do one more story. Actually, let me know if we have a question on what we said. I think it's a very short but very interesting story. So let me check. Okay, so let's. There's a question. We'll answer it later. So let's do another story. May the monkey help the Gentile cook? Challenge. The handicapped person in our story had a Gentile attendant who also assisted him with various tasks, such as cooking his meals, lest the food cooked by a Gentile be forbidden to him due to bishul akum. He had to do something to assist the cooking, such as putting the pot on the fire or stirring it. Since it was difficult for him, he asked if he could send the monkey to do it instead. Does the participation of the monkey resolve the issue of bishul akum, as would be participation of the Jew? So, I mean, it's a little strange question. I would say now, what is the monkey going to do? Okay, so bishul akum, there is commentary. Our sages forbade eating food cooked by a Gentile, even if the food was made from kosher ingredients and cooked in a kosher pot. Okay. Some explain that this is a precaution against intermarriage. Others explain this precaution lest Jew and Gentile become accustomed to eating together, and then Gentile might come to feed the forbidden foods to a Jew. Right? So they got used to each other, eat together, and now this non-Jewish food smells so good. Right? Shulchan Aruch Yoreh De'ah 113.6 makes a provision that the Jew assists cooking, even slightly, by stirring the pot. For example, the food is permitted to him, right? It's from Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so the thing is, he's a handicapped. I'm not sure. Maybe he could walk, or maybe wheelchair. I'm not sure, right? So if he could do something to the food, it should be like no problem. Like start like the fire, or like stir something, like put some ingredients, something like something substantial. Okay. So the question is, can we send the monkey instead of the Jew? One more commentary. The basis of this question is how to define a provision described in a footnote above. Right, in the footnote above. Okay, so meaning that Jew helps. Does it mean to say that the Gentile may not do all of the cooking by himself, in which case the monkey involved is sufficient? Or does it mean that to say that the Jew must help, in which case the monkey involved is insufficient? So meaning, it's a question a little strange, right? So make this preparation of this food not be done only by a non-Jew, but somebody else, meaning Jew or monkey, right? Or it needs only involvement of a Jew. Okay, a little strange question. Solution: Rabbi Wozner forbade this, explaining that the food cooked by a Gentile become permitted only if a Jew personally assists the cooking. Sending animal to assist is insufficient. Okay, and he gives all the notes on the bottom. Okay, so let's do maybe one more. And it says Nitlas Yadayim with a monkey's help. Okay, challenge. May monkey pour water over the handicapped person hand for Nitlas Yadayim. So what's the problem? So we said before that when we were discussing Nitlas Yadayim, that the water must come from a human force. So even we say in exceptional case when you don't have a cup, period, like disposable cup, zero, right? So you would be allowed to open the faucet, closed, open, close, like three times, like on each hand. Why would be allowed? Because every time you open the faucet and then close, so the water comes on because of the human force. So if you just open it, let it run, so only first time it came from because of your force, but the rest is because of the pressure from the system. Has nothing to do with you. Okay, so here he said, how about if monkey does it, right? Fill the cup and monkey would pour in his hand. Okay. The Shulchan Aruch 159:12. Shulchan Aruch 159:12 cites a debate of this point. Some forbid this, explaining that Nitlas Yadayim must be performed by human force. Okay, as we said. Right? Others permit it, explaining that it is sufficient for Nitlas Yadayim to be performed in any direct force, including water that was already running from the faucets or stream. Okay, Shulchan Aruch favors the second opinion, and thus permits having monkey wash others' hands, while Rema favors the first opinion and forbids it. Okay. So you see, I completely forgot. So two opinions. So I know that we go by opinion of human force. But in the same token, we also, you see, now beginning to more sense, right? But in the same token, we also take into consideration this non-human force, what does it mean in order to purify the hands. So we said, for example, just to remind us quickly, that in a case where you you want to go wash for a bread, but you need to go to the bathroom, and it's proper actually. We're going to Beezrat HaShem, we learn from Rambam, so he's going to teach us that you're not allowed to make yourself abominable. So what is it like? How I will say myself abominable when you hold back, right? When you need to evacuate, like to go to the bathroom, and you don't. So that's sages call a person abominable, right? So especially before you need before your prayers or before you need to say a blessing. That's very interesting. So before you want to say blessing, you need, and if you have need to go to the bathroom, you must go to the bathroom. So now a person wants to eat bread, right? Bread and say the blessing, but before eating the bread, person feels the urge to go to the bathroom. So if person now goes and wash his hands, let's say have a cup, three times, like after what we do after the bathroom, comes out, say the blessing, and now he cannot go, she cannot go wash after that, right? Again with the cup. So what are you doing? So it says you say blessing for purifying my hands. Like your hands are pure. This is this purification with the cup was absolutely sufficient. So and our sages say there are a few solutions, but one I won't just concentrate on one because that's to bring the point. So you pour the water in your cup hand like this, right? You pour it, and then you you wash your hands like this, and it's enough. It's enough to have them somewhat pure, right? Somewhat pure to say the blessing afterwards. Say the blessing Asher Yotzer. That's enough, right? So to purify your hands, but it is not enough to eat bread. So that's what would be the solution, and looks like we would go by the second by the second opinion. So even though the water did not come from what is it from a human force, but it's actually like semi, right? So yeah, right. So and this would allow you to say a blessing on purification of your hands before eating bread. Okay, so okay, continue. A few questions. One second. About Chumash. A question about Chumash. I wonder why Miriam did not enter Eretz Israel. Why Miriam did not enter? Because HaShem said so. Why Miriam did not enter Eretz Israel? It's a good question. So why is it a good question? I'm going to tell you why it's a good question. Because the decree was pronounced, people would not enter Eretz Israel, who were all men, only men, and from age of 20 to 60, right? 20 to 60. So she was not a man. And she was from a tribe of Leib, and she was over 60. I mean, of course, she's not one reason is enough, but basically, right? So it's a good question. Why? The straightforward is because HaShem said so, but I don't tell you the truth. I don't remember that commentary that I read. How they discuss. Of course, they discuss, but I don't remember. Right, why she did not answer, but it's a very good question. Right, second, Rav, a general question: should we refrain from touching spiritually impure animals or unkosher animals in general? In general, yes. But if somebody is working with horses, I don't know, or with donkeys or with dogs, right? A doctor or a nurse, right? So it would be different, but otherwise, yes, we try not to touch them. Right. Are you obligated towards the hands after each of them? Animal, no. Before saying blessing, if they're alive, they usually don't have this, don't transmit this, the impurity, spiritual impurity. But after dogs, so it says it's very, very recommended to wash their hands because dogs is a very impure animal. It's a different story. So I had Some clowns also said that doesn't say, but it doesn't say it. Not clownness, right? So I sent her the source. Is it? But I said I think in that class it was a clip or something. Or class, I don't remember how, right? So no, it was a clip. It was a clip, right? And we said that it's because it's impure animal, so it's proper like to wash your hands, and like it was minority opinion. It's not when you look in a Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, for example, the list of all of the things after which a person must wash hands, dogs is not one of them. Okay, dogs is not one of them, especially a live dog, right? But some poskim they actually recommend. So it's minority opinion. Okay. So next one, Shalom Kodora. Question about Nitlas Yadayim. I wonder why we are not allowed to use the sensor faucet for Nitlas Yadayim when we do not have a cup, since technically your hands trigger the sense. It is true technically. It's called double removed, right? It's called. Oh, thank you for it calls double removed, so that's why it is. It's not through the through the person's force, right? So if you open the faucet, it's one step removed. But why? Because you're not doing anything clear. Like you're removing the block that blocking the passage of water with your faucet, right? That's what you do. Like human force, like 100%. When it's in a cup and I tilt the cup and I pour, that's human force for sure. But if I open the faucet, it's one time remove. But with the sensor, double remove. So for sure, it's would not be allowed. Okay. So I think we answered all the questions, unless we have more. Somebody's tapping. So let's wait a few seconds. Okay, thank you. No problem. So let's stop here. Beezrat HaShem. We cover all of the questions. We did the even stories. Baruch Hashem, very interesting stories, very unusual stories. Baruch Hashem. Right, so thank you very much. Please join us tomorrow. We're going to Beezrat Hashem learn kosher kitchen. Okay. Thank you and good night until tomorrow.